going down, you guys? You already know what it is. You know what it does. It is Wiz, and I'm back again with another haircut tutorial for you guys. And in this haircut tutorial, we are going to be doing a low taper on a 360 waver. If you guys don't know this guy, man, this is my guy, Mr. Wave Man. And he basically makes content on YouTube, just like how I do, but instead of barbering content, he makes wave content. So if that is something you guys are interested in, I will leave the link down in the description below. But that's not why you guys came here. You guys came for this haircut tutorial, so let's hop straight into it. So right here I have my 2-guard all the way closed, and we are just following the pattern of his waves. One thing that I did take away from this haircut though is that since he is trying to shift his waves in the crown area, I wish I would have left the crown just a little bit longer, because right there you see how it just kind of took a little bit too much hair than what I wanted, and that is literally because I tried to cut it like how he brushes, but his swirl or crown area was not ready to be cut in that direction quite yet. So anytime you have a waver that is shifting in the chair, you really want to go with a higher guard, just because if you take it too low and try to cut it against the way that the hair wants to go, a lot of times it could take it shorter in that area. So that is what I took from this haircut, guys. Every haircut is a learning experience. That's why I'm here on YouTube, so I can watch myself grow as a barber and also help you guys grow as barbers as well. But like I said, when it comes to cutting everything down, you just really want to follow his wave pattern, comb through everything, and make sure everything is as even as possible. Before I start talking about this back taper, I just want to let you guys know I did prep the hairline. I just forgot to record it. How I prep the hairline: a little holding spray, brush everything into place while you're drying it, and that is it. And I'm where I am now. So right here I'm setting in my primary bald guideline, and I'm really just making sure I have enough room to fade between the bald guideline and the occipital bone. The reason why the occipital bone is very important is because that's where the do-rag is going to sit, and if it's any lower than the occipital bone, the hair starts to flip up in the back, which is very unpleasant for wavers. But also if you go higher than the occipital bone, now you're going too far into the wave. So I just like to use the occipital bone as like that max point, just so I know that I do not need to pass this point. But right here I have my lever all the way open, and I'm going up about 1 inch just because it's the back and I have more room to fade. Then I jump straight into the highest guard I'm going to be using for this haircut, which is my 1.5 guard all the way closed, using my comb to help feed that hair into this clipper, just because his hair is super trained, it's super laid, it's super delicate. And so I just want to be as cautious as possible, making sure I'm not going higher than what I want to. And again, guys, this is the highest guard I'm going to be using in this whole entire haircut. So right here I'm just basically setting a realm, debulking, getting all this extra hair out the way that I know I'm not going to need to worry about, so I can really focus on this blend and detailing it to get it as blurry as possible. So guys, instead of jumping in with my 1 guard all the way open, I feel like it would make it a little too bald looking. So I go ahead and close that lever, and I just start really focusing on that line. I don't really focus on trying to create a blend. I'm really just trying to take out this bald guideline without going up any higher. But if I start creating lines, you guys see that I'm lever playing. You see that once I start seeing a line, I slowly open that lever and start flicking a little bit harder just to avoid any lines. Guys, I have no idea what happened, but I don't know how I missed me taking out the bald guideline. I don't know if the camera shut off or what, But I go ahead and when it comes to taking out the bald guideline, I go ahead and close that lever, nudge at that line, go ahead and go halfway and then flick at that line that I've already created from nudging at it, and it pretty much goes away. But right here we're hopping into around the ear line. I like to use the edge of my liners just to ensure that I'm able to kind of use it as a pencil. And also when it comes to doing the around the ear line, guys, don't forget that you are the barber behind this chair. Don't be afraid to manipulate the skin the way you need to. So if you have to push that ear down, I promise to God, you guys will not hurt his ear by folding his ear down. Do what you have to do to ensure that you get the crispiest lines, because at the end of the day, that's all your client cares about. When it comes to lining up the nape area, you just go ahead and find that darkest spot on the nape and connect the dots to the line that you had already did around the ear. This is the perfect example, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys watch. Alright you guys, so I hop straight into this line, and I'm not gonna lie, my guy Mr. Wave Man here, guys, does not have the easiest lining. But we go ahead, we lock in, we stay with the same system we always do, which is starting in the middle, working your way to the highest side, then going ahead and going to the other side, not caring how much hair you're taking off, because at the end of the day, you've already worked your way to the highest side. So as long as everything is as straight and crispy as possible, that's all that matters, and everything after that is a professional pushback. So guys, when it comes to the vertical bars, I pretty much see where the darkest point is, so I chose the chomping method at this point just to get any overhanging hairs that may be keeping this line from being as crispy as possible. But guys, when it comes to me going ahead and lining up the C-cups, I step back, take a look at what side I feel like is higher on the C-cups, start on that side first, line up the darkest point, then I go ahead and line up the sideburns and the beard to ensure that it has a connecting look. And then I use the edges of my trimmer to go ahead and connect the dots. At this angle you can see it a lot better. Look at how right here, boom, I'm lining up the beard and the sideburns to make it look connected. Then I go ahead and connect the dots from the point I had already made right at the top of that C-cup. And this is just to ensure that if I am pushing it in a little bit, at least it's a professional pushback to where everything flows together. But right here, I'm going ahead and setting my first primary bald guideline for the side taper, kind of putting it right at the top of the ear where your shades would sit. So guys, in the middle of this haircut, I basically had to stop myself and go ahead and get a brush session in. The reason why it's important to get a brush session in for wavers is because they're going to go home and brush their hair hella, and it's going to lay down their hair, manipulate their hair differently than when you were cutting it, which may make the blend look different, the lineup look different. So you just want to go ahead, take this extra step to really get a good brush session in, especially if they're a serious committed waver. But guys, I don't know what happened. My shoulder was in this taper, this side taper the entire time, so I didn't end up getting the other side, but I was able to still savage this side, but I was still upset that my hand was in the way. But it doesn't matter, we're still giving out dimes. So right here I have my lever all the way open. I set my guideline in about a ½ an inch just because it's the side taper, we have less room to fade. Then right here I have my one guard all the way open, and you guys basically see that I'm basically touching up stuff. This is the last guard I'm really trying to use. You see me going ahead, going with the grain, trying to lay everything down. And again guys, that was the last guard I'm going to use, and that is why I like to start with the lineup first, so I know what I'm blending into. But right here I have my lever all the way closed. I nudged at that line with using my corners. I went ahead, opened it halfway, nudged at that line again, doing more of a flicking motion, just so I'm not creating any guidelines. And I didn't even have to use my half guard. So right here, I'm jumping straight into that straight razor. This is the last part of the haircut, ensuring that we're getting all the stubble and making sure that he is as crispy as possible. Guys, you guys see how my guy came in looking, man. He was over here uncertain about himself, about his ways, if he should be teaching people on YouTube how to get waves. But then we could go remind him, this is how you can look, guys. If you guys like this cut, don't forget to go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Like the video if you like the video, because why don't you like the video if you like the video. But don't forget to go ahead and drop a comment down below. I love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. But guys, this is Woods, and I'm out.